my fellow duelists, I'm the Quasar Phantom, and throughout all of the Yu-Gi-Oh series there have always been awesome and unique abilities. So this time I figured, hey, why not make a top 10 list of the best Yu-Gi-Oh abilities? And keep in mind guys, these are ranked in how useful I see them to be in the game as well as in real life. So with that said, let's get this started. Number 10. The Rune Eyes. Now the Rune Eyes share a similar property to the Crimson Dragon birthmark, except it allows all three users to use the power of their Sir monsters, and it also protects them from any dangers or threats, like when Broder was stealing the Loki card and while trying to escape with the card, his bow crashed against a boulder and sent him flying into a pillar of rock. However, the final Rune Eye appeared on him of course, and then a thunderball, a freaking thunderball, appeared from the sky to destroy the pillar. So divine protection sounds pretty sweet to me. And it allows them to use their powers in interesting ways too, such as when they use their power to create the Biofrost Rainbow Bridge when they had to get to the Arc Cradle in 5Ds. Well, it looks like you won't be having to take those stairs anymore, or worry about having to fall from them. Plus, look at all those cool designs. Everyone is only going to be thinking, best contacts ever. Number 9. The Energy Ball. Now the Energy Ball is an ability from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal that is pretty much how it sounds like. The user creates a medium to large size energy sphere for offensive power. Though it didn't really cause permanent harm in the show, it's still unknown if that's impossible. But either way, it's like a ki blast of sorts. It can be used to contain people like what happened with Haruto, and can also be used for transportation, like how Mazar arrived on Earth inside an Energy Ball. So it's a unique ability that's great because sometimes you just want to be able to deal some offensive power, and that's why the Energy Ball is here. Plus those free trips around anywhere on Earth sound pretty nice about now. Number 8. The Gentle Darkness. Now the Gentle Darkness is a very underrated ability from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and it's a power held by Gaiden. And I have to give you a little bit of lore so you understand, but basically when the universe was created, it was divided into light and darkness. The one who had enough power to defeat the light and protect the darkness was the Supreme King, and alone is the mightiest of power to control spirits, which is why throughout the series there are always mentions of Gaiden being able to control spirits, though it was really more implied as being able to see spirits, like when Paradox made Gaiden and hinted this himself when he calls him the duelist that can speak with spirits, or why Gaiden was chosen by Kagemaru to face him. It was because of this ability, so being able to control spirits sounds wicked awesome, especially on days like Halloween, which is why the Gentle Darkness earns its number 8 spot. Number 7. The Photon Hand. Now the Photon Hand is an ability used by Kato from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, which is a method of taking a person's number card similar to the way Astral does it, though it also lets you resist pure corruption at the hands of the monsters. But the real reason it earns this spot is the process in which it takes the person's number cards, as if you take the person's number card, you also take their soul. So if you use the Photon Hand on someone you don't like, you take their soul and age them considerably. I like to think of it as kinda like the Abracadabra spell in the Harry Potter universe, which is an instant kill. Though it does have its drawbacks since its power is linked to your soul, and it can't be used on people with similar abilities like Number Hunters or the Rune Eyes for example. Also, if you use it too often, you can injure your body like what happened with Kaido, so that holds it back, otherwise it probably would be higher on the list, but it's either risk versus reward, so take your pick. Number 6. The Mind Scan ability. Now this is the ability the Millennium Eye allow Maximilian Pegasus to perform. He can literally read your mind, predicting everything you would do. So it's like you don't even have the privacy of your own mind, predicting what cards your opponent will play, and in Pegasus' words, it's the power to see into your opponent's hearts. But this ability will be so useful in real life. Imagine being able to hear what everyday people are thinking of you. Plus, being able to compare answers on tests would certainly be awesome, which is why Mind Scan earns its spot at number 6. Great for duels and awesome to have in real life. So with that said guys, we made it to the top 5 best Yu-Gi-Oh! Abilities. So let the good times keep on rolling. Number 5. Mind Crush! Yes, this ability we know from the anime, but originally in the manga it allowed Yugi to metaphorically shatter Kaiba's heart, destroying innate evil that had corrupted it, and Kaiba having to reassemble his heart, similar to how Yugi had to solve the Millennium Puzzle. Oddly enough, Kaiba, or rather the user I should say, stays in a coma until he or she has solved the puzzle of their heart and is thus awakened. So you have the ability to exorcise evil spirits or render the victim unconscious, or maybe both if you're lucky. Well, that sounds awesome, which is why my crush is number 5. Number 4, the Destiny Draw. Now this ability is seen through every Yu-Gi-Oh series, and perhaps it's been called by different names such as the Shiny Draw in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, but they all really serve the same purpose. It allows you to get any card you may want or may need, and it's been used by all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonists at one point or another. And of course, it will be useful in actual duels, but imagine the insane tricks you'll be able to pull off, how nobody will be able to prove you wrong. Hey, you might even end up being the next David Copperfield, and thumbs up if you get that reference. Nevertheless, this is a skill every duelist must have, and having it in real life wouldn't be too bad either. But with that said, let's move on to number 3, the Penalty Game ability. Now this might be pretty unexpected by most of you, but it's simply known as the Penalty Game ability, and by definition it's a punishment given to someone who cheats in a shadow game. And of course this was widely used by the villains of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, or to be more specific, the Millennium item holders. But really what it is creating some type of game, not necessarily a duel, but a game that shows the person the evil they have done to others. For instance, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, you'll see in almost every episode, if not all of them, that the opposing person has done something evil or corrupt, and the game they end up playing shows them the error of their ways. But to sum up guys, the reason why this will be awesome is because you are death, literally. You're the judge, jury, and executioner. Well, if you play your cards right. See what I did there? Cause he's gotta draw? I'm not much of a joker today, am I? Oh well. So let's move on to number 2, the Zexal Crests. Now this ability, or rather crests, appear in a distinctive part of the user's body, and they all share really similar qualities. They can all withstand the influence of the number cards, which is basically withstanding pure evil, so you'll always be wise in your decisions. And my personal favorite, being able to literally disappear. For instance, when 4 or Quattro, if you watch the dub version, disappeared into a wind of gust, Trey as a blinding light, and Tron or Vtrex with a short blackout. But can you imagine someone asking you for a favor and you literally just disappearing? Boy, the commotion that would cause. Plus, it allows for portals, which instead of traveling can be used to communicate with others across large distances. Also, to some extent, some temporary mind control as shown by Vtrex on Shark. Sadly though, the power is directly linked to their souls in exchange for power, just like the Photon Hand ability. So if you're weak-spirited, odds are you're not gonna be feeling too great. But the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, in my opinion anyway. But with that all said and done guys, let's move on to the last and best Yu-Gi-Oh! Ability of all time. It's number 1, the Crimson Dragon Birthmark. The symbol of course symbolizes a signer, and come on guys, who doesn't want to be a signer? The symbol representing unity, infinity, or a never-ending cycle. And a lesser known fact is since the dual runner actually has energy reactors inside it, they can actually use their signer marks to power it even if all others in the city have stopped. So when I think about it, it's kinda like having infinite gas, as gas and energy are both fuels of transportation, and I'm sure if they existed in real life the same effect would apply. And of course, it also protects you and any close companions nearby from effects, like having a person's soul taken away or any changes to the timeline. Not to mention guys, it allows you to communicate with dual monsters and, the key term here guys, human spirits. How freaking awesome is that? But the main reason why this earns its number 1 spot is time travel. While some may argue that the falsification of history ability, the zone or primo used to change the timeline will be number 1, the fact that the Crimson Dragon marks are machines and come with these side abilities on top of the time travel ability are why, in my eyes, is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Ability to date. So thanks so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it. And if you guys have an idea for another top 10 list, or maybe you disagree with some of my decisions, let me know down below because I love to hear your thoughts. And I want to personally thank Underworld so much for letting me post this up on his channel. So make sure to stop by both our channels and subscribe for way more epic videos. And until our paths can cross again, duelists, later.